Hello, I'm AxelMC131 and welcome back to Behind the Blocks in Minecraft 1.8. Compared to a lot of my other videos, this one is actually being recorded pretty much on the day that it's going to be uploaded, thanks to my schedule and the fact that I have been procrastinating all week. But I had this idea today mucking around. I was so glad that I actually came up with anything, really, because I almost had no video coming out this week for Behind the Blocks. But what I have created here, this took me quite a while. This is a coal compressor. It doesn't look like much, does it? But if I have a whole lot of coal blocks here, and if I actually stand over here and I just throw a coal block on this pad, and I hit this button, aha! Fantastic! We can make diamonds out of coal now. And it will only work if I actually put coal in. Let's put some coal in. Nice. Do some more. Fantastic, way to make diamonds out of coal. It does only work for one at a time. It will only give you one diamond if you put in multiple pieces of coal, so that's worth bearing in mind. But this is surprisingly complex. This is one of my more difficult mechanics. And there's not a lot visible at the moment. I've made this, this can be entirely concealed within a floor or something. But I'm just going to jump down here and show you guys. This is what's going on underneath there. There's not many as many command blocks as there could be, but there's a few things that are important for the setup. So first of all, you may notice that this is not a real piston. And you can see that if that glitch is familiar to you, that's because it's actually a minecart over here. And the way I'm getting it to rise up and down is by using a minecart which is sitting on a piston. So you'll notice that when I hit this button, the piston retracts, the minecart falls down, and then it gets pushed back up, and the piston retracts up here. And the other block there I have is actually a fence. The second minecart down here, which has got a fence block riding above it. So that one doesn't move, but you can see it appear down there. And if I didn't have that, it just looked like the piston would just fall down. So to make it look like it's actually an extending piston. The other bit of setup that you need to do, I'll just show you the commands for those actually. So these two commands activate those, so if I just remove them, I've got these two commands here, dink, that summon them up there. So the commands for those are as follows. Okay, so this is the piston, the one that moves. So summon MinecartRideable, tilde, tilde, for tilde. This is relative to these two blocks, so it's going to go up 1, up 2, up 3, and it's going to summon it here. So it's on top of the piston. CustomDisplayTile 1, so that means that it will show, someone told me last time I tried to do something like this, CustomDisplayTile 1 means that it will display a custom tile rather than being empty. And then the display tile is piston head. And that's the extended bit of a piston. And then DisplayOffset is 71, and that gets it to appear in the right place up here. The other one is exactly the same, but the display tile is fence. We're only doing this up 3, and because this is lower, this is going to appear here. So we go, I think so, 1, 2, I think it appears up there. I could probably just make that 2. But anyway, that one has a display tile of fence, and its display offset is 133. So that's going up all the way up there. So you can put these and adjust them to wherever you want to summon these from, but I've just put them directly underneath so I can just change the y-axis. Alright, so the next bit of setup that you need is a set block clock down here, and this is going to be, this is just your standard set block clock below and above. And then we are going to go scoreboard players set any entity type equals item, and we're going to set their compress score to 1 if they are a Minecraft coal block, like that. And the compress objective is just a very simple objective, dummy objectives, so scoreboard objectives add, compress, and dummy, like that. If I just go, whoops, I need to rebind that key. Scoreboard objectives set display, whoops, sidebar, compress, and if I throw this on the ground, you'll see that it has a score of 1. So coal blocks will have a score of 1 when they're on the ground. So that's how we're testing for it. The other bit of setup that you're going to need is this command block up here. And what this is doing is actually summoning an ArmorStand. And the ArmorStand summons 3 blocks below it, which is pretty much in this space here. It has a custom name of Compressor, as you can see there, which is important to note. It is invulnerable and invisible, and it has no gravity. And you can't see it there, and you can't hit it, but if I go game mode 3, you'll see it appears there. So that's where it's actually sitting. And that's important because it works as a proxy. So if I just go back to game mode 1, alright, right. So then we're going to come over here. What happens is when you hit this button and activate it, this redstone torch turns off, the piston retracts, and the minecart that sits on top of it will fall down, and the piston head image up here will drop down onto this plate, this stone slab here. Then this this command block will activate, and this is executing at any entity named Compressor, so that's the ArmorStand. It's going to test for any entity with a compress score minimum of 1 within a range of 1. So basically that means that it's testing for a coal block within that range. If that tests true, it is then going to execute at the ArmorStand again. It's going to kill every item with a compressed score of 1 within a range of 1. So if it finds it, it will then kill it, and then it will start this running. Now what we have here is a monostable circuit. If you don't know what that is, basically it's a circuit that is, well, it's exactly what it sounds. It is stable in one position, but not in another position. So what that means is that you can use these to trigger very, very short, quick pulses. So what happens is, even though the length of the button tick carries down to that repeater over there, if I just go, if that tests true, that repeater will stay on as long as the button is activated. And because this pulse is not continuing, this here will stay in the true position. That comparator will stay on. So I'll just show you that. So if I just take that out, chuck the coal block and activate, and it works. But you can see this has stayed on because that is now deactivated. And you could reset that by hitting the button again with nothing there. But we don't want to have to do that. Or you can right click on the command block. So what we can do is we can actually add in a forced reset. And we're using this monostable circuit here, which generates a very short pulse, which runs up through here, and then it goes through a three redstone repeater delay, and then over here, remembering that this will only activate if it finds the coal block and then kills it, it is then going to summon an item on top of the stone slab. So this is the coordinates of the block above the stone slab. It's going to summon a Minecraft diamond, and make sure to add to count 1, otherwise you won't be able to pick it up. And then it's going to put another pulse in here. By this time, the button has been released, and this is turned off again. But however, this will still be turned on. So because this then tests again, it will find nothing there, and it will reset. And that is how that works. So I can prove that if I just remove these blocks. So if I have nothing here, it doesn't test true and nothing happens. However, if I put the coal block here, you'll see we get a very short pulse. The diamond appears at that command block, and then it repeats. So I'll do that again if you missed that. So just watch this piece of redstone dust here as this command block gets activated. Activated, turns off, and then reactivates, and that comparator turns off. And that's how I've managed to get it so it's auto-resetting. Cool. So that's pretty much all the commands that are actually set up here. This setup itself took me a little bit to put together, but I've tried to get it reasonably compact. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. If you wanted to have multiple items that have different, like, recipes for compression, like I've just added the coal block turning into a diamond one here, as an example. You could add different values on the compress score, but you'd need to add another one of these setups for each item. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Hope you have enjoyed. Hope you have taken something from this. I hope that you like the idea. I think it's quite fun, really, especially that. Although it does still have the glitch where if you look up, then it stops working. Whoops. There we go. Make some diamonds. Make all the diamonds you want, as long as you have an infinite source of coal. Guys, I've been AxelMC131. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.